Pregame.tv, welcome back. Major League Baseball, early bird, 11:20 a.m. Wrigley Field, Cincinnati at Chicago. It's never correct to bet on the Cubs, is it? Let's find out. Bryan Leonard, what do you think?
I just realized this is the Wood Leak matchup. I had a little bit of Wood Leak one time in college. I drank too much.
Not good.
That's what a way to start off the videos, huh?
Penicillin for that now.
Surely you could market this in some way.
Now there's penicillin for that.
Listen, I take a look at this game. Mike Leake going for the Reds and Travis Wood for the Cubs. No doubt in my mind the Reds are the better team here. But when you take a look at these starting pitchers, both pitchers, Leake's been in Cincinnati his entire time. Wood has pitched for Cincinnati and he's pitched for the Cubs. Two pretty good hitting ballparks. Take a look at the average, opponent batting average these two have given up in their careers. Mike Leake, 277. He's pitching in the National League. He's given up a 277 batting average. That's horrendous. You take a look at Travis Wood, 238. Mike Leake's not a big strikeout pitcher. It's a situation where he doesn't strike out enough batters, so he's got to worry about his fielders. I'm always concerned about that. When you take a look at his daytime ERA, it's twice as high as it is when he pitches at night. And this is the third time that Cincinnati has faced the Cubs. And Leake, the first two games, his actual numbers don't look bad, but his batting average has given up 276 and 304 in those two games.
So they're hitting the ball, they're hitting
the ball, they're just not putting them all together.
Yeah.
As our friend that you had the book out a while back,
Trading Bases.
Trading Bases, Joe Pita, cluster luck. They've had bad cluster luck when they played Cincinnati.
I so agree with that. I really do. And you like the Cubs, obviously, right?
I'm going to play the Cubs.
I like the Cubs in this spot, too. Cincinnati's a good team, I agree. They are the better team all the way around. On the road, they're only one game over 500. But Cincinnati's one of those teams, I think some bettors thought they were going to regress a little bit, being that small market team, and that's why there was some value on them. I mean, if you bet Cincinnati this year, you're up over about 6 units. And for a team that had the season they had last year, that's pretty rare, considering how weak that division is. That's the team that's usually going to attract all the money. But with that said, I think in this spot, I think they're the overvalued team. And when you look, what you talked about, that cluster runs, if you look at the Pythagorean over-under of season wins for these two teams, they're the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
You have Cincinnati that's won 6 more games than they should have. And you have the Cubs, who have lost 5.5 more games than they should have. That, to me, is the perfect storm for a regression versus a progression. And going forward, I think you're going to get value betting the Cubs, and you're going to get value fading Cincinnati. So why not start tomorrow? I agree with Bryan in this spot, definitely.
One good news, and I know you're always saying that I disagree with you, but I think Scott Spreitzer has taken over that new role. So I'm going to let him go with that, run with that. I'm going to start agreeing with everything Bryan says, because I know you think I don't handicap baseball, but I actually put in a little work on this one. I looked at Mike Leake's stats, and yes, his not only during the daytime is his earned run average twice as high as you mentioned, but career lifetime 4.87 when he pitches during the daytime. Maybe he likes to go out, party. Maybe he just doesn't like the sunshine. He's a vampire. I don't care.
There's something.
When I see something, it happens once, it happens twice, it's random, it happens over a guy's career. Now we got it.
Not random anymore. Yeah.
Not random anymore. Let's make it official.
All right, we're going to take the underdog Cubs here. Some great points by both of you. Take a look at Wood. In all of his games this year, he's only given up more than 3 earned runs once all season long. He's got a 2.33 ERA at home. I like the pitching matchup. I think a lot of people are talking about Wood regressing. Some of his peripheral numbers aren't as good, and I fully believe that. We've gone against him a few times this year. But going against Leake here, I think has some value, and we will take the home dog with the Chicago Cubs. And by the way, I bet both the Reds and the Cubs under. And right now, I'm more worried about the Cubs, as you pointed out. They're playing a lot better ball than I thought they were.
And they only got a negative run differential of 0.011.
I think
so I mean, they're right there where they should not have this bad of a record.
If you got the Cubs season wins under, though, and you're projected to be on pace, you're going to win, because those hot Chicago day games.
Well,
always just they wilt.
And also, and I've already read a few articles where they're going to start trading some of their veteran players, Samardzija, Garza. I mean, it's a typical Chicago Cubs. Once they get to the point where they're out of the playoffs, which is usually
they know
about now,
yeah.
they start trading away their better players, getting some younger players into the system.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing too, I think as far as we're routine guys, and so I could speak for myself. I love coming in. Tuesday, I do all my radio. I do all my videos. It's like routine. Boom, boom. My body clock knows that if I had to like go and do videos at like 10 a.m.
Right.
And then some days, and then the next day flip it out, it would just mess up my entire.
I think that's all bettors. I mean, we have that routine every day because pretty much the games go off the same time every day during the week.
Well, look at Mike Leake. When his routine's thrown off during the day, you can't pitch a leak. Can't pitch a leak.
And there you go. And it's interesting. I don't want to keep this going too long, but Mike Moore for Tampa Bay. It's Mike Moore, right?
Michael Moore?
Michael Moore. The Michael Moore's the fact.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the director.
Yeah, well, anyway, he pitched against the Indians the other day and went one inning, he got rained out, and then he brought him back a day early from four days instead of 5. He hasn't pitched well since.
Of course.
Yeah,
I always
so
look for pitchers that are off their routine, and if it's not coming off the DL, because then they do those sessions.
Matt Moore. I've screwed up. Now we've done 2 videos. I've screwed up first names of the people I was talking about twice.
What you need to do is the next 3.
Isn't that Mr.
Tampa? He was in Tampa.
Isn't that right, Bob Fezzik?
The next 3, I'm just happy that you didn't call me some nasty name. Well, now you've done it twice, you got to do it in every video because then people will know we planned it this way before we started.
I'm planning.
That's just like a magician that messes up a couple tricks. He starts doing it every 20 minutes. Oh, that's his act. Very good. Stay with us. Pregame.tv. More baseball will go to Thursday action. New York Yankees. We all agreed under 87.5 wins. Current projection. Last one I saw, I had them at 89. I didn't agree to that.
That's
right. You're right. Johnny Detroit.
Yeah,
you were on board.
I still like the
so let's root for Seattle tomorrow. Bryan Leonard will tell us who's going to win. Stay with us. Pregame.tv.